What is going on today, everybody? We have our fourth episode of season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Before we jump into things, I want to know, who are you feeling this season? Who are you liking so far? Who are your favorites? Who are you not into? I want to hear from everybody. Just let me know. Let's start a little conversation on which queens we are rooting for in season 14. Okay, let's get into the episode. So today, no mini challenge, just one maxi challenge. Our queens are split into teams. Maddie and Willow as our team captains. And, when the teams were getting picked, I was thinking, like Maddie's team is gonna lose big time. Like they were not looking great, but that is not really the way it played out, was it? So Willow ends up picking Cornbread, Lady Camden, Bosco, Carrie, Georges, and then Jasmine decided to join the team, which was very bizarre, but we'll get into that pretty soon. Maddie, she picks Deja, Daya, Angeria, Alyssa, and Orion. Kind of felt to me like Maddie was picking the queens that she liked. And, as we go through this challenge, it feels like maybe that was the right decision because, it's not just about who's talented, it's who's talented and can work together. That's very important because right as this episode started, we got a little feud between Cornbread and Jasmine. Cornbread got very salty over basically anything Jasmine was doing, and I understand where this all stems from. Jasmine was really talking over everybody, not giving other people a chance to, finish a thought or say their opinion. It was very much the Jasmine show, and Cornbread was not here for it. But in my opinion, Cornbread got a little mean. Cornbread was getting pretty mean over the whole topic, and I didn't like that. Cornbread's been somebody I've been rooting for since the start, and, she moved down a couple notches in my books this week, and the large reason was the little spat that she had with Jasmine. Let's get into the actual videos. When we were watching all of the recording and the shots and the rehearsal, I thought Team Maddie looked like they were the better team. Their stuff looked funnier, looked more coherent, looked more entertaining, but that's not quite how it played out when it got to the videos. When the videos came out, Team Willow's video was better. I enjoyed it more. Willow's moment really stood out as my favorite from that video. I felt bad for Team Maddie because their video just looked like it was just not edited as well, which has nothing to do with the queens. Like, there was the moment with it was Maddie and Daya, I forget who else was on the couch, and Maddie has that moment like, oh, I have this confession, or had this hard moment where I had to come out to my dad's as being straight. Totally cut, and they just left in Daya's confession, which was, I have a confession, I'm straight too, which, I don't think hits as hard without the first moment from Maddie. Like, sure, we all know that, like, that was one of the moments earlier in the season, everybody finding out that Maddie was straight, but didn't have that payoff effect in the video without the actual moment from Maddie, in my opinion. Anyways, watching the videos, felt like Team Willow's video was better than Team Maddie's. Runway. We'll point out two negatives, two positives. I thought Deja and Maddie were a bit weaker. The judges all raved about Deja, but it just felt to me like a low effort interpretation of JLo's look. We saw JLo's look, it was flawless, it was fabulous. Deja did not improve on that. Let's be real. There was no improvement on that. That was a dumbed down version of it. Maddie's just didn't quite hit for me. And, that's starting to become a little bit of a trend with Maddie. The looks just aren't quite at the level of some of these other queens. On the other end, Cornbread, loved that look. Worked for her, looked amazing, and was a standout on the runway. And shockingly, my second standout from the runway was Carrie Colby, who looks, I think, Carrie could wear whatever she wants. She's going to look stunning. And, she brought it with probably J-Lo's most famous look and absolutely delivered, which we later found out she was wearing J-Lo's actual dress. So, that's probably why. But the runway, I don't think factored into how things played out for the judges. Our tops end up being Angeria, Willow, and Deja. Angeria and Willow, they were the top two to me this week. I love both of them. Angeria is quickly becoming my favorite queen this season. And, Willow, I think, is somebody who was definitely underestimated at the start and now has continually delivered as we're on week 4 here now. Angeria ends up taking the win. So I don't know, what is that? We're 4 episodes in and Angeria has like 17 wins under her belt. Pretty good resume, and we're not even close to halfway done the season. On the bottom, we saw Cornbread, Carrie, and Alyssa. Felt to me like the Cornbread and the Carrie were like wake-up calls. Like they wanted to say to Cornbread, like, hey, we expect more from you, because in reality, was Cornbread bad in this challenge? No. Was Cornbread one note? Yes. And they just wanted to say, like, hey, you don't always have to be up here. Show a little bit of range. Give us more than just whatever, the over-the-top Cornbread. Carrie, they wanted to say to her, like, hey, you can't always be perfection. Like, you have to have a little bit of vulnerability. And I don't know if Carrie received that message as well as Cornbread received her message, because I think Carrie interpreted as I need to wear uglier clothes, and that's not what they were saying. They were saying you need to open up. You need to get messy in these challenges. It's not just about your makeup and what you're wearing. It's about showing that you're more than just the look. Alyssa, seeing that bottom 3 just felt like she was doomed. It didn't matter if she went against Cornbread or Carrie. Felt like the judges were going to send her home no matter what. And in the lip sync, which ended up being Carrie and Alyssa, I felt Alyssa was better, but I think probably most of us watching knew that Alyssa was going home. And kind of sucks for her because she delivered in that lip sync. She was very good, and had that one moment where she picked up the prop and the prop didn't work. And you could even see in the editing that they tried to isolate on that, like, oh, the prop didn't work, that's why she went home. It's like, no, the decision was not left in the balance during the lip sync. Alyssa would have had to absolutely slay it in that lip sync, I think, to have sent Carrie home. But that's it for week 4. Competition, it starts to whittle down a little bit. I would say we still have another handful of queens that probably need to get, either need to step their game up or get whittled out of the competition before things get really serious. Will say I'm enjoying this season so far, and I hope it continues to deliver. So that's going to be it for me this week. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.